Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So we have a fresh batch of Social Security payments going out today to certain beneficiaries. We're going to be going over who is going to be receiving these payments and the likely amount. Plus, a presidential candidate is throwing his support behind expanded monthly payments to some American families. We're going to be covering that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so as we approach this month, the month ahead in September, we have a lot of important deadlines coming up. So first off, by the end of this month, of course, they have to fund the government, and they're looking like they're probably not going to be able to do that in time. So instead of funding the government through the next year or so, they might have to do some type of continuing resolution where they fund the government maybe for the next couple of months. But one of the main things on the table right now is that Republicans are wanting to expand Trump's tax cuts well into the future, perhaps even make them permanent, where we have certain corporations getting different tax breaks. We have everyone paying a lower income tax bracket by a couple of percentage points. So Democrats are completely against this idea. However, they're willing to expand Trump's tax cuts if and only if Republicans bring back that expanded child tax credit that we had back in 2021. So in that expanded child tax credit, of course, we have payments going out to families with children both under the age of 6. For those that were earning $300 every single month into their bank account per child, and then between the ages of 6 and 17, in that case, you'd be receiving $250 per child. Of course, that did expire. They were not able to renew those. So those, once again, are back on the table. And surprisingly enough, we actually have a lot of Republicans also on board with that idea. So they may actually get that done, where we had that renewed in 2023. So of course, that's very good news for a lot of American families, those with children at least. So according to the Washington Examiner, Burgum backs bigger child tax credit amid broader GOP family push. Now, if you don't know who Doug Burgum is, of course, he's a presidential candidate. Right now, he is the governor in North Dakota. So presidential hopeful Governor Doug Burgum supports expanding the child tax credit, a position that is growing in popularity among Republicans who have elevated the importance of family support. The 67-year-old governor spoke with the Washington Examiner for an interview on economic policy this week when asked specifically whether he would support a bigger federal child tax credit with work requirements. He said yes. He echoes GOP supporters of boosting the credit, such as Senators Marco Rubio, Mitt Romney, and others. Now, Republicans actually have a bill on the table right now in Congress which would boost these payments actually even higher than $300 per month. I believe theirs actually goes up to $350 per month. And for pregnant mothers right now, they would actually begin receiving those payments during their pregnancy to help, pay off those bills, which are very expensive when you're going, to the hospital every week or two to check up. Obviously that would go a great ways. But in the Republican bills, they actually have certain work requirements where you have to earn a certain amount in order to receive the benefit, whereas within the Democratic bills, what the Democrats believe is they believe that you should receive those monthly payments whether or not you're earning, a certain amount. So that's pretty much the differences right now. But it looks like they might be able to, get something done with the Republicans wanting to expand Trump's tax cuts and the Democrats wanting to bring back this expanded child tax credit. Now, another thing that Burgum really stressed was the importance of affordable child care. And this is extremely important as well because, we have a situation where it's extremely expensive to send your child to, like a daycare or anything like that. It's very, very expensive. And we're running into a situation where we have all these job openings, and you wonder why we have so many job openings. Because, we have like a mother or father who looks at the cost of childcare, and they see that it's going to cost, maybe $2,000 per month. Well, maybe if they return to work, they would only be making, let's say, like $2,000 or maybe $3,000 per month. But if you're going to be spending $2,000 to send your baby to like a daycare, but you're only going to be earning $2,000 at work, it really doesn't make any sense at all to pretty much be making the same at your job and then have to send your baby off to a daycare to have other people watch after him or her. Why not just stay at home with the baby? So, of course, access to affordable childcare is extremely important. If it was, a lot cheaper and more affordable, then perhaps we would have other mothers or fathers returning to work rather than staying home. So of course that's very important as well. Now, of course, with the child tax credit, if this were to get expanded once again, like it was back in 2021 for families with children under the age of 6, the likely payments would be around $300 per month deposited into your bank account. And for those with children between the ages of 6 and 17, up to the age of 17, in that case, you'd be receiving $250 per child. So just keep an eye out on that. It is likely to take place in September if this thing is going to end up happening. Now, in some other news, of course, we have certain Social Security beneficiaries going to be receiving their first payment in the month of September. And these beneficiaries are actually going to be receiving 2 payments this month in September. We're going to be covering why. So according to The Sun, double the cash. Social Security Supplemental Income 2023 updates. First of 2 $914 checks drops as 33 states boost benefits. So you can see the payment schedule up there on the screen. So for the month of September, today, September 1st, Friday, we actually had payments going out. So those are going to be going to SSI beneficiaries. The maximum for single individuals is just over $900. It's going to be boosted up a little bit higher next year thanks to the cost of living adjustment. And then also today, the payments are going to those who received Social Security before May of 1997 or those receiving both Social Security and SSI. Now, for those of you receiving Social Security before May of 1997, usually you'd be receiving your payments on the 3rd, but the 3rd of the month falls on a Sunday. So in that case, you're actually going to be receiving those payments today. Now, like I mentioned before, SSI recipients are actually going to be receiving 2 payments this month in September. So the second payment is going to be coming on the last Friday of the month. That's going to be Friday, September 29th. That's because October 1st is falling on a Sunday, and anytime the 1st of a month falls on a weekend or a holiday, you're going to be receiving that payment just a little bit sooner. So those are the payments going out today for Social Security beneficiaries. And then we have the next batch of payments going out on September 13th, September 20th, and September 27th. Those are going to be going out to beneficiaries depending on their date of birth. Now, in some other news, of course, just the other day, we had the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell freeze up for the second time in just recent weeks when he was asked a question at an interview. Obviously, a very scary situation. So let's go ahead and watch.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
So not really sure what's going on there. Obviously a very, very scary situation. Don't want to wish bad health on anyone, regardless of their politics, whether they're a Republican or whether they're a Democrat. A lot of people are speculating this might be like Parkinson's disease, but nobody really knows. Of course, we have a lot of people calling on McConnell to resign, that he's not fit for office, that he should not be in the Senate as the minority leader. And of course, a lot of people are saying that he is 81 years old, also that he's just too old in general. But yet you don't really hear a lot of people in the media saying the same thing about Joe Biden, at least those on the left, because, you know, Mitch McConnell is 81, but guess what? Joe Biden is also going to be 81 in November. And we've also seen numerous clips of Joe Biden's gas. We've seen him pretty much like shaking hands with Ghost. We've seen him, you know, just completely forget his train of thought like mid-sentence. We've also seen Joe Biden falling down, and it's, you know, a very sad situation. We should not be wishing bad health on any of these people, but, you know, definitely maybe there should be some sort of age requirement to be in office, whether that's in the House, Senate, or the U.S. presidency, or they should have some type of, you know, mental capacity test to make sure that they're fit for office, both mentally and perhaps even physically as well. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.